Okay, cool. So we're actually going to do something. We're going to start out with a little fun game really quickly, actually, and then we're going to tell you guys about us, okay? So I'm going to have you get your phone out and see who can figure out how to get to Las Cruces, New Mexico. Tell me who can find that on their phone the fastest.
To the last what?
Las Cruces, New Mexico.
I already did. I found it. United Airlines.
Right? Okay, so you're going to go on United, right? So you're going to have to fly to El Paso because they don't have direct flights to Las Cruces.
Okay.
So I can drive and be there in 8 hours and 45 minutes using my map.
There you go.
603 miles. Yeah,
Exactly.
603 miles.
Right, exactly. Perfect. Okay. So the point is that, everybody's going to go some way. Sometimes people are going to go different ways, right? Somebody's going to take a train, somebody's going to fly, somebody's going to drive, right? Mm-hmm. So we all have the same destination, though. We're all trying to get to Las Cruces, but everybody's going to go differently, right? Which is kind of what we're going to do here today. We're going to make you guys your own roadmaps for marketing today, okay? Not everybody is going to have the same way that they're going to get there. You're going to do it probably differently than he is, and then he is, and she is, but we're all still going to the same destination, right? We ultimately want to have our marketing map made up. So that's what we're going to do today, is help you guys make that, okay?
Yay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So this is Ciara Shoemaker. She works on my team at Guild, and she's amazing. This is the girl that does all of this and makes all of this possible, right? We think about these things in our mind, and we go, oh my God, wouldn't it be great if I could do this? And then we tell her about it, and she actually makes it come to fruition. So really, her whole sole job is to help you guys do that same thing for your marketing, right? So you guys will have access to utilizing her services as well, okay? My name is Rebecca Hansen, and I'm with Guild Mortgage. So we've been working with you guys and lots of people from your office for a super long time. So we feel very, very lucky to have met you guys and made so many delightful relationships. So actually took a loan application for one of Todd's clients this morning. So before we came here. So, yeah, I know.
And he told me, I'm sorry, I'm just blanking out his name as soon as I saw him. Paul told us that, I just said, hi Paulie. He told us that you did this thing.
We did.
He gave you like A rating already.
We take that very seriously. Honestly, if Paul gives us a loving endorsement, we're like, it's a true victory.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We don't just trust anyone with our Paul.
I even switched lenders. I had a relationship going with somebody else, and I said, I'm not feeling it, and I switched to Rebecca's team, and they took really good care of me. So that's my quick little.
Awesome. Oh yeah, I'll get you your money. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we feel very lucky to have met you guys. So okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of build our whole marketing around kind of like 3 pillars. We're going to create vision, we're going to create structure, and we're going to create schedule for each one of your pillars of marketing. Okay. So the sections that we're going to talk about today are your database, your online presence, and your face-to-face, okay? So that's kind of how we have the marketing broken down into these 3 different buckets, okay? If you guys actually flip to this first page here, yeah, you guys are on it, perfect, with these little popsicles, right? We kind of give you guys some samples, we give you some breakdowns of what we've categorized as database, as online presence, as face-to-face, okay? And you probably all have an idea of where you might be the strongest in each of your marketing pillars and where you might be the weakest, okay? So really our whole goal for today is to break out in each one of these sections, give you guys a little bit of table time to work on it, jot down some notes, and figure out a plan, okay? Because like you guys, I've been to many of these things for my business, right? And we get all these jazzed up, super cool ideas, and then you leave and you come home and
when Christmas happens.
Right, exactly. And then Christmas, and then crickets, and nothing's happened, right? So what we want to do today is we want to actually have you guys leave with some actual action items and ways to implement from today, okay? So before we start getting into like the first pillar, into database, I just wanted to kind of go around and ask you guys, just is there anything particular that out of today you wanted to learn? Like I want to learn about posting on Facebook. I want to learn about, is there stuff that's on your mind that you want to specifically talk about? And we'll make sure we address it.
Well, there's so much to learn already. So much.
Okay.
The online presence,
Okay.
it's just, I know how to post. I think
Mhm.
I know, but it's just hard for me to be there twice a week. Consistency is
Okay.
the biggest weakness. So for me, about the online presence, it's just like, what should I post?
Right. Okay.
That's different. That is not like people don't go like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. This is
Mhm. What
same.
should I post? Okay.
It's hard for me.
Right. Perfect. Okay, good.
And
Well,
then
that's
I
one of
let
the
the
things
time
we're gonna
pass. and-
Sandra's the queen of posting.
I am. I post a lot on my, I've got 3 business pages and I post on all of those. I post the same thing on all of them.
Right.
But, you know, you still don't get hundreds of people
Sure.
contacting me.
Sure.
You know, I might get 10 people.
Right.
And people are just like, oh, another, there's so much on Facebook, I think it's hard to get people's attention.
Right.
But I use a lot of like Denver Post and the Board of Realtors and Smedra stuff and,
Right.
just fun things I find, but a lot of real estate stuff that I steal from, I write a lot of stuff myself.
Well, I think that's what's going to be the coolest thing about that. You guys are going to learn from today too. Is like not everything that we create is our own unique content, right? It's okay to get the information from someplace else, right, and to post it up and share it and put your opinion about it, right? And that's the beautiful thing about where you guys work also is that people are very willing to share what's been working, what's not working, right? Hey, I already tried this. Don't go down that road. That's not going to, So that's really a beautiful thing about your company. People aren't feeling like they can't share. So anything else? Online presence, that's the big one for today? Okay, cool. Well, I think we're going to have our mission accomplished then. I'm feeling good.
So one of our onliners, Amanda, says that she's just looking to learn more about marketing in general. She hears a lot about what doesn't work, so wants to know what does work.
Okay, cool.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Amanda.
Amanda.
Yeah.
And Louise, since you weren't able to join us in person, thanks for hopping online, and I did just email you the booklet that we are working off of, so you can reference that from your own computer. I just sent that off, so check your email.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, you guys are making it too easy on us. We basically have like 2 things to accomplish for our class today, so I think that's gonna happen. So, okay. So if you guys would take just a second and you've looked at kind of these pillars here, database, what goes into database? We're talking about like your CRM, like your contact management. How do you stay in touch with your clients now, right? Are you doing anything in regards to mailers? Are you doing anything in regards to email blasts, right? That's what kind of falls into the database section. Online presence, pretty obvious, right? Are we doing anything on social media, right? Face-to-face stuff is more of like your client appreciation type things, right? Are you hosting any type of client events? Are you popping by and saying hi to your clients, right? Getting together with people for coffee on a weekly basis, right? That's what kind of falls into the face-to-face bucket. So I'm going to give you just a second to fill this out. What is my strongest pillar? What is my weakest pillar? And what do I really want to focus on from this class or for 2019? I'll give you guys just another sec to write down. I see people are still jotting, so. We good? Okay. So the first section that we're going to go over is the database section. So what we've done here is if you guys go right underneath this database, the next page that follows this one, is you're going to see several different ideas that fall into this category, okay? This is just a few things that can be done in this section of database, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually pick 2 ideas that we have and show you guys how to actually implement these. Like, let's create some vision, let's create some structure, let's create some schedule around a sample of one of these, okay? And then if you guys think of one off the top of your head, you're like, gosh, I've always wanted to do this. How could I possibly execute it? We can just round table that right now and talk about it and see how we can be of help to you guys. Because that's really kind of the whole point here is that we're trying to give you guys back some of your time, right? That's really the whole point, is for you to come to the 2 of us and be like, in my ideal world, I would love to do this, but I can never execute it. I can never make it happen, right? We just recently met with Stephanie Fellhauser. I don't know if any of you guys know her, right? But she came over and sat with us, and we've actually implemented several of these things for her. She really was wanting to try to amp up her marketing this year and create more of like a Stephanie brand, right? Where it's like everything looks the same and it's super consistent, right? How do I do that, right? If I wanted to send out something to my clients via email once a month, if I wanted to send out something to the wine group that she's a part of, right? I wanted to send anniversary and birthday cards to my clients. How do I do that, right? Everyone has all these amazing ideas, but it's the execution that where we seem to fall down, right? Because you guys have to actually do your real jobs, which is write real estate contracts and negotiate deals and do inspections, right? So that's where we come in, and that's where we can help you guys. So we sit down with you and make a plan, and then we make it actually come to fruition, which has been really cool. So Stephanie said if anybody has questions or you want to know what we've done for her, she absolutely is willing to ask you guys about it, or she's willing to
Tell
talk to you
us.
guys
Right.
about it.
Answer questions.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
So that
the
backwards.
opposite of
Yeah,
that.
so that backwards. So. Okay, so one of these things that we're going to break down is something called like a birthday program. This seems to be a pretty popular thing where lots of our partners come to us with this, right? They would love to figure out a way to do a birthday program for their clients, right? So we're going to kind of do this little thing in class, and you're going to know what I'm talking about because you're in the mastermind with me, okay? But we learned this thing that whenever you're trying to solve, a problem or you're trying to make a plan, right? There's a way to kind of attack this thing through something called WOOP it. And this is an acronym for wish, outcome, obstacle, plan, right? So what is my wish? My wish is to create a birthday program for my clients, right? What is the outcome from that? I will figure out a way to love on my clients a little bit more, right? Make sure they know that we're thinking of them all the time, right? And from that comes possibly referrals, right? From staying in touch with your past clients, right? What's my obstacle? I don't have anybody's birthdays. I don't know anybody's birthdays. How am I going to take care of that, right? What's going to be my plan? This is what we're going to figure out and talk to you guys about today. Does this make sense? Yeah? Okay. So how we can help you guys, if you flip to this page, there's a little birthday program thing here, right? So if you guys want to chat a little bit about this, the way in which we could possibly help you guys is, let me first ask this question. Does anybody in here have a birthday program for their clients?
No, I call them.
Okay, which is great.
All text.
Right, which is better than better than nothing,
Yeah.
right? But is anybody in here in a place where they don't have their clients' birthdays?
I have most of them, and ECTM contracts send me a reminder like a week before. So
Okay.
and then I have an alarm on my phone like tomorrow send a text
Okay.
or call in case I didn't send the card, which I never do. And
Right.
I have tons of birthday cards in my car that I never send.
Yes.
And I,
Oh, no.
yeah, that's one of my biggest fears. I made card and I need to send it. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Totally forgot to do that. And then okay, I'll send a text or I call. And I only use that reminder.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I would like to do something better.
Yeah, of course. I mean, is this? We don't even need to break this section down if people aren't interested really in doing having a birthday program. Is this something you guys want to learn a little bit more about, or should we?
Well, I have a question. So do
Yes.
you have any thoughts on? Well, probably all of us are on Facebook, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
So we get birthdays from our friends and clients, past clients and prospects, right? So I always make a note to put, a happy birthday, how you doing?
Right.
Congratulations, right? And then I take it and I put it into my database,
Mm-hmm.
right away. But I don't give them always the call and stuff.
Mhm.
That's personal. But what are your thoughts on the Facebook touch?
Oh, I think that's
birthdays?
great. Absolutely. I think
That is fun.
everyone loves to be remembered on your birthday. It
Sure
just
do.
feels good,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I don't think you can in any way, shape, or form be doing any harm by
Right.
posting a note on someone's Facebook by saying, was thinking about you today, right?
Right.
Is there any
Absolutely.
reason you can't get them all ready for the first of the month to mail them, or like all at one time so that you don't have to keep track of dates?
Amazing, right?
Right, and that's
Say what?
exactly
Okay.
what we suggest. Yeah,
Okay,
and that's
'cause that mine will end up at the bottom of
Right,
my card
right.
too. But if I just do them all, like the last day of the month or that last week, and then
Mhm.
send them out on the first of the month, is there anything? Does it have to be?
Oh no, that's
Okay.
perfect.
Send them out on the first of the month.
Yeah,
Right, the first of the month or the what I typically do is the last week of the month, I'll send out the next month's birthday. So if they have a birthday on the 1st or the 2nd, they're still getting it around or, before their birthday. But yeah,
That's
absolutely, that's definitely what
Well,
we
look at
suggest
that.
is if you're doing
Yeah.
cards or presents.
Did you write this?
No. I was just thinking, oh, how can I not mess
Yeah.
this up?
Right.
Now, another idea that we learned from somebody was this same concept, right, of like getting an accordion folder, right, and it's by month, January, February, March, the whole deal. And when it's a little sleepier time, towards the end of the year, you could write, if you wanted to, right, you could write your birthday cards or you could write your anniversary cards, and then you just go to your January folder, you pull it up, and then there it is. They're all ready to go.
That's just too organised for me. I'd go there and
That
think,
is
oh,
amazing,
there's
though.
nothing
I
in there.
like that idea. I mean, I write the cards. I never send them.
Well, see, you're
Which is
obsessed with
worse.
spending
Probably it's
time,
worse,
right,
'cause
you're
then I
spending the
just
time to do it and
throw it
then,
away.
and
Yeah,
then
you
getting
should
none of the
stop.
rewards.
It's
That
like-
might be your goal then.
wasting money
And
time because I wrote the card and I just never send it.
Well, there's your
I mean,
goal.
for my closest sphere, my A plus or A clients, I even do a gift.
Right.
I stop by and I do a gift, but it'll be a better touch if we. For my B's or anybody else or C's, I do like a nice card or something different. I
Right.
just
And something that we like to say is you definitely want to keep it close to your personality and make it very you. So if you are an always running late person, always a belated person, they make funny belated birthday cards. You can still send if you know they're going to be late, you might as well play with that aspect and make that, people will be much more likely to remember a week after my birthday, I got this hilarious, funny belated birthday party, card from my realtor instead of the either never getting anything or, maybe
Just
something more
forgetting.
generic. So you can, knowing yourself as part of this process too, as long as you're doing something and making it unique and stand out, it's, no one's going to mind that you missed it by a couple days if you make it funny and you acknowledge it,
that's a good idea.
Still, you're, acknowledging them.
Yeah.
And they still go, oh, thank you.
Right. Again, I'm not saying send it like 2 months later, but there's no reason not to. If you already put in all of the work and everything like that, and you have these cards, don't think, oh shoot, their birthday was yesterday, now I can't. All of this hard work, this gift
Well,
is
that's
too
what I
late,
usually think.
Yeah.
Too late.
So
Yeah. Well, one thing that maybe we could do to help, right, is that last week, let's pretend that we're trying to send birthday cards for January, right? What we could do is we could hit you up at the end of the month in January, or excuse me, in December, right? We could hit you up and be like, hey, the first week is next week. How are you doing? What's going on? We're checking on you. Do you have your
Like
birthday cards ready?
accountability, right?
Exactly, like an accountability thing, right? Which could maybe be helpful. Would that be something that would be?
Yeah, that would be very
Okay.
helpful for me.
We can do it. Check. No
Thank
problem.
Oh,
you.
no, now you're.
Right?
I'm the kind of person that needs that.
I'll give you my birthday now then.
Yeah.
So another question is if it's acceptable to give gift cards or what other good gift ideas might be.
So, one thing that we have we've spent a lot of time studying this whole topic of loving and gifting on people and checking out and ways to do it creatively and so it makes an impact. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a book called Giftology?
I just got that book from one of our agents. I haven't had an opportunity to read it yet,
You
but
will-
it is sitting on my
You
home
will
office desk.
sincerely, you will love it. You will love it. But the gist of it really is about being like personalized, right? So if you were going to pop something in the mail to them and you want it to be impactful, right? Instead of us sending them a Cutco knife with Guild Mortgage all over it, right? It would be make a better impact and send them a Cutco knife with Bob and Mary Smith on the Cutco knife, right? Instead of your brand with your stuff all over it, right? So if anything, I would say it's about being personal to them, something with their initials on it, something with their name on it, something that like they're super into golf, right? So you take the time to, send them something that speaks to them, right? And maybe you're not sure, right? You're like, gosh, I've known these people for so long, but I feel bad about not knowing some of these things, right? So there's a couple ways that we handle that, right? You can either stalk them on Facebook, see what they're up to, right, which is a simple, easy way. Or if you wanted to reach out to your past clients with, there's a form that's called like an All About You form. I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of these things, but it's like a questionnaire, right? Like a simple, like, hey, what's your favorite coffee? What's your favorite cocktail? What's your favorite place to go to dinner? And again, what's kind of cool about this is what she was mentioning is like, make it fun, make it specific to your personality, right? You know, maybe you don't want them to fill out a big old huge long form. You want to ask them like 5 questions, right? Like, are you Dunkin'? Are you Starbucks? Are you Qdoba? Are you Chipotle? Are you, you know, and you can play off those kind of fun things, and then if you wanted to pop something in the mail to them, you know they're a Chipotle person all the way, right? So you write them a little card and you pop a $5 Chipotle gift card in the mail.
I just bought some, you've heard of caffeinated cards.
No.
I can't remember where I got them, but
That's cute.
I think you can go to their website. I got them through another marketing company. And they say things like, have you been, B-E-A-N? And I just buy a bunch of Starbucks, $10
Right.
Starbucks cards. And,
That's cute.
you know, I can't remember what all the cards say now, but there's about 5 different types of them. And you just stick a card in, and again, I'm like you, I put them all in the envelopes. I haven't mailed them yet. But
Yeah.
I was just going to see if I could find some of the designs. But they're very, they're very cute, and they've got a little coffee bean character, you know, with a little face. And
That's
arms and
adorable.
legs. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to answer the question of like, what are other ideas to gift? I would say another place that you want to kind of start with this is to work backwards in and say, hey, I'm not going to send every client a gift necessarily, right? We need to break these people down into buckets, just like you do in your database, right? You've got your A's, you've got your B's, you've got your C's, right? And then how you're going to determine, how am I going to gift my A's this year? How am I going to gift my B's? How am I going to gift my C's, right? So whenever this person's birthday comes up, you're not like, now what do I do, right? I don't have a plan. I have to start over from scratch every single time, right? Instead, you're going to take your whole list now. We're going to divide these people up into A's, B's, or C's, and then we're going to determine right out of the gate, this is what I'm going to do for my A's. I'm going to get very specific and personalized, right? So I know if that's the case, I want to do something super loving with their initials on it. I need to be about 2-3 weeks out from when their actual birthday is, right?
Right.
So that's how this is how we do it in our life, right? We're like, okay, well, we know her birthday's on the 18th of December, right? So any of our December people, we're starting a couple 2 to 3 weeks earlier the month before. So that way we can look at them and we're like, hey, are you falling into our A's? Are you falling into our B's or into our C's? And then we know our execution plan from there, okay? One of the things that we like to send a lot of is note cards with their names on them, because everyone uses them, right? So they think of you when they pull them out, and it's just different. Not a lot of people send those, but we actually have to take the time to order them with their name on them to have them arrive, right, and that kind of thing. So that might be a good one that fits or speaks to you guys. But I think a lot of this again this goes with your personality, right? Like, it speaks to me to send the note cards because I know we use them, I love them, it's fun. Now, it might not be your thing, right? That might not be quite what's up your alley, right? Maybe you guys want to send something that's specific to real estate, that's something fun for real estate, like a, what are those things called? Measuring tapes, right? Everybody uses those. Everyone needs one of those, right? Maybe you send one with their initials on it. And this is part of where we can actually sit down with you guys separate from here and spend some time, like, actually, if this is the thing that you're like, this is something I've been talking about, been in real estate for 7 years, and I've always talked about doing a birthday program for my people, and I've never gotten it done, right? We can set aside time outside of here and help you guys really nail this down, okay?
I think I'm just gonna work on making sure I get cards out this year.
That's perfect. And
That's a little too much.
I love that you say that, though, because this I'm so glad that you said that, because this is not about perfection. Do you know what I mean?
That's advanced. We need the
Exactly.
beginner.
Well, it just, I mean, to me, when I think of, because I do everything myself, I mean, if I'm an assistant, that's fine, but if you don't, then to try and implement all these things on your own is a lot of work.
It is.
And it's, I'm like, I'm going to spend all my time writing cards and ordering gifts,
Mm-hmm.
and I won't get any real estate done.
Right. Which makes sense. So this is where, if that's one of those things that it's been on your mind, and it's an area where you've really wanted to change it up, this is where we're asking you guys to come to us, and we would be happy to help you execute that, right?
Yeah.
But it's going to be something different in each one of these buckets, right? Maybe that's not really the thing, right? You're saying, hey, I'm just getting started on this whole deal. I'm not there yet, right? I'm happy to just actually pick up the phone and give somebody a call on their birthday, right? So this is not about perfection. This is about just like making baby steps. For most of us, a lot of this stuff is things that we haven't ever even done. So something is better than nothing, right? Make sense? Okay. So we're going to go on to the next bucket, which is going to be an email newsletter. This is another one that we broke down just because we seem to have people come to us a lot with this as a dilemma for them. Like, how do I actually execute on this? This is something that people want to do in terms of staying in touch with their clients, right? Because it's convenient, it's easy, it doesn't really cost you guys anything out of pocket either, right? It's a great way for you to stay in touch, but it doesn't cost a lot of monthly monies, right? It just costs a little bit of time to actually
Just
execute.
getting people to open them, that's the downside.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I think my last one I sent out 200 and I had something like 5% of people that opened it.
What do you use to send it out?
Well, I've just signed up for, what's the company that we use here that make the magazines,
Oh,
Reminder
yes.
Media.
Oh, gotcha.
Reminder
They make
Media,
the Hope by
books,
Design
but there's also an
magazines and-
electronic kind of,
Okay.
I guess it's like, it's all sorts of it. It's like a little magazine really that you send out online. But that's the first time I've done it, and I think 5% of people opened it. I'm like, well, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've not had a single call about the magazines I've sent out.
So have you, is this a possibility for you to also say, hey, maybe you can give people a call after it goes out or
Yeah.
before it goes out, right? Maybe it's a reason to reach out. Hey, just wanted you to know I found the coolest recipe out of that magazine that I sent. I was just
Yeah.
wondering if you saw
And then
it.
they say, oh, sorry, I didn't even see it because
Yeah.
they threw it in the trash with all the other stuff.
Right.
And I know Stacey and Todd have used those for years, and they say it's really successful for them.
Is that the
So-
first one you've sent out?
Yeah.
Okay, give it time.
Right.
They're gonna need to see it from you every month to
Right.
know that it's coming. Cause my open rate now is, I have over 80%. But
Is
it's
that your
also,
email or is that the magazine?
no, I don't do the reminder, I do Buffini, but
Okay.
mine is, but because it's now, I've been doing it for 2 years, my open rate is a lot higher,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
taken time.
Yeah.
But is that like an email blast that you send?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they know it's coming, and,
Yeah.
now it wasn't as high as it was, but now
Okay.
mine's
I
averages
do-
around 82.
The
so-
magazine email is a new thing. I mean, that's just started going out this month, but I've used Happy Grasshopper for a long time. That's just, you look through about 15 emails each month, pick one that suits you, or you can write your own and just send it out. And some of them are pretty fun. I usually get the same 10 people that reply,
Right.
and then the others, but a lot of people open, probably half of those get open.
Well, we're going to show you guys, are you downloading it on here?
No, it's
Thinking? It's already ready?
No, it's right.
Oh, okay, cool. We're going to show you guys something that we've used and we've actually implemented for a lot of people here in at your office. Is a way to stay in touch. It's a program called MailChimp. Okay. And what we really like about MailChimp is that it's probably two things. One, it's very, very easy. Okay, it's super simple. Two, it looks really nice. When you open it up, it looks very professional. Okay. And this again goes back to kind of like, it's not a pre-formatted thing where it all looks the same for everybody around here, right? It's whatever is going to speak to you guys, right? So typically the way we do this is we break it up into kind of like a left brain, right brain thing, right? We usually have something that is representative of the statistics, right, which you guys supply us with, which you generally get straight from one of your title companies, right? This is what's going on in terms of like your particular neighborhood or just the Denver market in general, right? And then we go on the right side of things, right? Which is I wanted to share with you my 6 favorite breweries in town, or my 6 favorite golf courses, or whatever you think talks to you guys, right? Maybe you're at a place where you work with a lot of people that have kids, right? So you want to talk about fun things that you can do with kids. You want to talk about fun things that you can do, places you can go visit, your top favorite places to travel, right? I mean, obviously everybody's at different phases, different stages in their life, which generally reflects the clients that you're working with, right? But that's what's cool about MailChimp is that we typically sit down with you and we come up with a whole bunch of them already ahead of time, right? Hey, we know that we want to send out 1 a month, so we're going to break down and come up with 6 right now, right? So that way we already have 6 months in a row ready to go. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she's going to show you what it looks like. We did this for somebody. She's been in real estate for quite some time, and she's been sending out home tips, like things to do for your house, like when do you clean your furnace and when do you do these things and stuff like that. And her clients, it's kind of like what you had said about Buffini. They've kind of come to just expect it, right? They know, and so they're looking forward to it, right? They're like, oh gosh, that's right. It's time to change my batteries in my smoke detector, right? She always reminds me to do that. So we ended up helping her create the format for it, create all of the content for it, right? You guys give us the general idea, but we'll do all of the work. And that's really the point that we're trying to come across with you guys is, you know, whenever I hear things like this, like, let's make an email newsletter, I'm like, I'm frozen in time, right? I'm like, what can you, I can't think of anything worse that I would have to do myself. But that's why she's super amazing at this, right? You can kind of just talk a little bit about what's on your mind, what you think you would enjoy, what you think your clients would enjoy, and then we can help you make it, right? And we do not get our feelings hurt here. So when you come up with some ideas, you're like, I do not like that one. That's not what I was thinking, right? So no problem there, okay?
And sorry, the internet's just a little bit slow right now,
Oh, okay.
so it's taking a little bit to load. But
Okay.
Hey Rebecca, can
Yeah.
we go to this page
Sure.
or not?
Yeah,
You know,
for
I
sure.
always called it a slide,
Yeah.
but we can do that.
Yeah, so that's actually what we're chatting about now is MailChimp, and there's plenty
Yeah,
of
the little bounce around things. Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, plenty of CRM management websites like MailChimp. MailChimp is just what I've always used, so that's what I'm,
Yeah,
you know,
and it's
trend
free, I
towards,
see
but-
that. It's
Mhm,
free.
yeah, it's free. Yeah, and there's places, Constant Contact is another one that's
Oh, I
free.
heard that.
I've never used that one, but I've heard it's very similar to MailChimp. There are plenty of them
Yeah.
out there that will manage your CRM for you, and they give you great reports too with your open rates and
Mhm.
that type of thing. And yeah, and I've found too, we've tried a couple different ways of sending out the emails, and if you use something like MailChimp or Constant Contact,
Mhm.
you have a much greater chance of not going to their spam folder. It definitely still happens, you know, which
Yeah.
is why it's great, like Rebecca suggested, to give people a call and say, hey, did you see my email? I just started putting out this newsletter, but I got some feedback that it was ending up in spam, so just wanted to call and check, and
Yeah.
you know, it's a reason to check in. But
Sure.
but it definitely is. We've gotten much higher open rates and much less instances of people seeing the email go to their junk folder or their spam folder if you use something like MailChimp or
How
Constant
is it that
Contact.
it's free?
You know, there's
Offers?
there's upgrades you can pay for. So they give you the free version as kind of like a taster, and then there's much more within MailChimp that I haven't explored because we just utilize the free version. But they will even help you with Facebook advertising. You can use their templates to create Facebook ads and Instagram ads and then advertise through them, or you can pay for kind of like upgraded templates, that kind of thing. So I think they just offer the free service, you know, as a way to hook you in and then get you to pay for things. But I'll be honest, I've been using it for years and never paid for
That's
anything, you know,
fantastic.
just
Yeah.
taking advantage of what they offer for free. So
News.
Has anyone used Constant Contact here? No. I've heard. I mean, I know.
right, I've heard a lot
Yeah.
about it, yeah, but
Curious.
I've just heard it's so similar to MailChimp.
Yeah.
I'm already in
It's what you
that.
get used to,
Yeah,
isn't
right,
it?
right. I think it's more just, which one is more user friendly to you, but.
So did you create this
Yeah, I'm sorry
newsletter?
they're not loading.
Did you
but-
create it for any other realtors?
We do it for Stephanie right now.
And then do you send it to the realtors and we send it to our MailChimp? Or do you guys
So-
send it realtor?
That is kind of more up to you. With Stephanie, she's really wanting things to truly happen in the background. So what I did was I created a MailChimp account for her, so it's with her email. She can log in anytime she wants to, but really it's me running it in the background. So I created an account for her. We went in, decided what she wanted her newsletter to look like, and then I made a template, made 6 months of them. And then with hers, there are some real-time stats that she wants in there. So she just, I think you guys get once a month, stats from Smedra and DMAR. So she'll just forward me that email and say, hey, I really like page number 4. Everything else is ready to go, the home tips or whatever we talked about, whether it's about DIY this or, painting or that. That's already done, but she just forwards me the the stats and says, hey, I really like page 14. I pop that in there and it goes
So
out.
we just have like that as like in the 6 templates that we have, we just have
There's
that
just a
like a
blank
blank
spot.
spot, right? And then we just insert it with the live
And the
content from you
templates,
guys.
I mean, do you change, do you customize the templates, or are they already?
No, I'll
Yeah.
customize it to her. So
Yeah.
hers, is at the bottom. It has her, logo information. Of course, your guys' would look similar because it's all going to be the equity branding. But if you wanted something different, I'm working with a realtor right now who kind of likes that more flowery, brushy kind of. It doesn't have to be equity blue and white. We
Yeah.
can make it anything as long as it's consistent.
Right.
So, but we'll create kind of what the header and footer will look like, and that would be kind of your quote unquote brand, and that would be the same across all of your newsletters and
And you also
emails.
create the content, right? The
Mhm.
message, which
Right.
is the hardest. I'm like,
Right.
what
Right.
should I
Right.
say?
Which is the magic, right? Honestly, for me, that I feel like that's the magic because I know that I need to stay in touch and I want to stay in touch, but I do not. This is not what I do. I'm not good at that.
Right.
I can think of in my mind like, oh my gosh, I think it would be great if I sent out my 6 favorite like appetizer recipes. 'Cause that's fun for me. I love it. It'd be great. But other
I
than
can't
that,
even think about it.
I'm done. I'm like, drop the mic. I don't know how to put anything in here. I don't know how to. That's what is so beautiful about, her skills is that she really can talk to you guys and translate it and get it across for the message that you're looking to send.
And how do you get
across.
paid for this?
So,
Well, I work for Rebecca, and Rebecca works for you guys.
Okay.
So, hence I work for all of you.
I didn't know if, you did it separately, like if you're working with a client, you get
Right.
paid per month or something for
No,
doing
no,
that.
I'm just under, Rebecca's marketing umbrella, and it's a service she provides to you.
Okay.
So,
it's like our gift to you guys, right? It's our way to say
It seems like
thank
a
you.
lot of work when
for-
you've got a real job to do.
That is her job, right? That is her job, is the marketing for you guys and for us, right? So that's her purpose, and she kicks total butt at it.
it has finally loaded for us. So for example, this is Rebecca's monthly newsletter. It's not very long. This goes out to all of our realtor partners, anyone she ever does any business with ever. So once a month on Fridays, they get, we just do a very short email about, welcome to whatever such and such month. Here's an event that is going on this month. In September, it was the Colorado Home Show. And then something fun like a cocktail recipe or, a food recipe, just something. And then down at the bottom, always thank you, have a safe and fun month of such and such, our logo, and then links to our social media. So as you can see, it's super duper short, simple. It doesn't have anything to do with loans, but it keeps her in front of all of our business partners.
We call it Fun Fridays, and so it's just about like what is fun going on, like fun in the sense of what's happening in Denver or around town, right? What's something fun that you could go do, and then I particularly really like to cook, so we generally find like a recipe that I like or I've actually made, or a cocktail that's fun and one to share. So that's where this the idea is born out of, is that's what it's about, right?
Right, and then with this other realtor we were working with, her whole deal was more, she wanted it to be all about home improvement. So one month we did home tips to save money, one month we did home maintenance you can do in 10 minutes or less, but staying under that home improvement umbrella. So she did no market stats, nothing like that, just but she let me know, I think we decided on like 5 images for each email, so it's consistent, each one has 5 images, keeping it short, sweet, to the point, and then her banner and logo is at the bottom with links to her social media. And so that's the one where we made out, 6 months of that.
Okay, I gotta ask you guys one quick question. So I think we started about 10 minutes late. Are you guys okay if we go like 5 or 10 minutes after? Is that okay, or do you guys all need to get out of
11:10?
here?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I just noticed
Sure,
it's like
sure.
10 till the
Yeah,
time
yeah.
right now. I'm like,
So we want to
I
make
know.
sure we get
I was
through
like,
it.
oh
Real quick.
geez, yeah.
Summary, that's MailChimp, that's
Yes.
all MailChimp.
Mm-hmm.
You help us with that, we provide you with a list of our contacts.
Right, usually it's in the form of like a Buffini, just export your list from Buffini and
Sure.
provide that to me,
Like
or,
an Excel or something like that. Okay.
And when you scroll to those different little segments, could you do that for me?
Sure,
Real quick?
yeah.
I
Is
just got
that
a
something
question
you've
about it,
written,
so I
or is it
wanna see
already in there and you just add to it?
No, so that's something I've written. So, let me just.
So
get
for
that back
example,
up.
that's all like previously selected.
So this this is a public domain photo that I then went and put the words onto.
That's fine.
again, like we make sure to
So-
use everything that's in the public domain, but it is unique content that I'm creating. It's not something that
Two
I'm just
questions, real quick,
snagging
because
off
I know
of.
we're at time.
Yeah.
So are there links to expand those articles?
Yes, so when they
Cool,
have
so I see
this-
that a lot, read more.
Right. So
Cool.
like for example, this one's talking about the online audit tool. You can click on the words online audit tool and it will take them to
Nice.
that.
Right.
Each of these images, you know, it's kind of small, especially if you're looking at it on an iPad or a phone.
Mm-hmm.
You can click on it and it'll expand the words so they can see it. It's very mobile friendly, and you can always, with MailChimp, they kind of design it so that it's
Yeah.
to be looked at
One
on your
more.
phone and your computer.
One more question
Mhm.
that finalizes, kind of pulls this all together. Does anybody in the room or anybody listening subscribe to the digital email newsletter that goes out once a month through Reminder Media?
I just started doing
Okay,
it.
well, I do
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
40-something bucks
yeah, but I don't.
a month,
Well, yeah, I'm going to cancel that because I thought I'd just try it.
you know?
And
And I'm
I,
going, what?
there's a lot of information on there that
Yeah,
you know, it's a huge email,
it's
and
really
you've
a
got to
lot.
click on it and turn pages. And I'm
It's
thinking,
very impressive, but
Yeah.
this is free.
Right, and keeps it straight. I mean, one thing that we've definitely found with emails, videos, Facebook, people don't have a very long attention span. So, you know, sometimes it seems great to give them a lot of information,
Yeah.
but that can a lot of times be a huge turnoff to people if they open an email and it's, you know,
Oh,
so if you
God.
notice Rebecca's monthly newsletter,
Right.
one recipe, one event.
It's
You
too
know,
much information.
it seems
Yeah.
like it's going to be not a lot, but if they want more information, they can call you, you know, or you can call them and say, hey, you know, I just gave you a little taster and I'd really like to tell you more about it. It gives you a reason to have a conversation about it as
Absolutely.
opposed to just dumping information, and Facebook actually will reject your ads if they have too many words in them nowadays. They'll tell you that's
Reminder Media's got a lot of stuff, and when you look at their website, there's all sorts of stuff. If once you actually subscribe to something, there's little Facebook pictures and Instagram stuff. But do you send the magazine out as well?
I do.
Yeah, I've
That's
just.
every other month.
But I've just started
Okay.
that.
I'm
So.
just gonna cancel,
Yeah.
okay, this is good
Okay.
stuff, thanks guys.
Good. Okay, so the other thing I would recommend for you guys is if you just look under these ideas for database, like maybe there's something in this category of these ideas that you're like, oh yes, that is totally me. I want to do that, right? And this is where we're saying, pick up the phone, call us. We will help you execute whichever one of these that is maybe on your mind, right? Or tell me more. What does this mean? Okay. But obviously we don't have time to break all this down today, like each one of these buckets, right?
There's a lot
But-
of stuff in here.
Yeah, but that's the idea, is that what I was talking with Stacy about is that she was like, a lot of times, you know, our agents don't maybe have the ideas of what to do, right? Like they've heard about all these different things, but they're not sure. You know, can you come with some actual specific ideas and scenarios? So that was really the idea and the goal behind today, is to give you guys some seeds to plant, and then we can actually decide which one of these speaks to you and then help you execute it on it, okay?
And to speak to the person who on the Facebook question of gifts and things like that work, there's actually a list in here, kind of a gift idea list for pop buys and things like that. In the face-to-face marketing section, there's a little list of those.
And then I'm going to show you guys one other thing under like the database stuff real quick, under like ways to stay in touch with your clients, and then we'll move on to the social media stuff, okay? Because I know that's where everybody has most of the questions. But this is where you're going to see on the very next page in the book, right after MailChimp, you're going to see something called moo.com, okay? This is where we get a lot of our stuff, where we order things from, and mainly because we love like the looks of it, and there's so many different options, there's so many different things, but again, this is where we come in. You don't have to do those things, we will do those things for you, right? You come to us and say, hey, I've always wanted to have an anniversary card or birthday card, and it looks the same every single time. This is what we just finished executing for Stephanie, right? So now her anniversary cards that she sends out to her clients are going to look the same every single time when she sends it, right? It's going to have her branding, her messaging on it. We will help you pick it, select it, order it, and it will then just be a matter of you popping it in the mail. But we can follow up with you on that
Well,
too.
you guys are gonna do that for us?
So these are a couple things that we've actually ordered ourselves from Moo, or that we've made. So this is a little card that we call Stock Us. So whenever we meet somebody, we give this to them. This has all of our social media on it. follow us, stalk us, like us, blah, 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 right? These are some thanks a latte cards that we made out of Moo ourselves, and then it has all of our stuff on the back. And then whenever a customer comes in to see us and they take the time to meet us in person, and they want to go shopping for a house, we send them these little taco time cards, and we say, now it's time to go shopping and have a taco on us. And then we pop some Chipotle or Qdoba or something in it for them. And we made these off of Moo. Okay?
And they're 47 cents or something like that?
That I don't know.
Yeah, the pricing in there is,
Yeah.
you know, typically about 40 cents depending on size and that type of thing. But
Okay, so next page, did you want to say something else? Kim?
oh no, I was just gonna say, I mean, there's lots of options besides Move. So I'm just giving you the options that we use and that we know and love. But there's plenty of options, and so you know, I know you guys probably have things through equity and stuff too, but we just like the idea of branding everything. You know, from your envelopes to your greeting cards to everything that you come across.
So the last thing under the database tab is HomeBot. And I don't think we're going to have time to get into HomeBot today. Many of you guys have heard about HomeBot. I'm sure if you have questions or anything you'd like to know more, call us anytime, text us anytime. What I will say is,
what HomeBot is,
yeah.
for those that don't know.
Okay, I'm a huge fan of HomeBot. I love it. I've been doing it since it came out. It's a way for you guys to stay in touch with your clients monthly. It gives them an estimated value of their home. And then what it does is it talks directly to public records. So it knows how much they owe on their mortgage. So then it says, hey, this is how much equity you have in your house right now. Do you have questions about that, right? It prompts them with different things in terms of, is now a great time to possibly look at using some of that equity to buy an investment property, or help my son or daughter get a home, or turn this into a 15-year loan, or, you know, there's many different kind of prompts that it asks about them. And then they just came out about 3 weeks ago with a piece of HomeBot that is now for buyers. So not just for people that own home, it's for buyers as well. So if you have people that are out there shopping, all they do is they put in their name, their email, and their phone number, right? And then what it does is, and a zip code, right? So I'm thinking of looking in Littleton, right? So you put in a zip code for Littleton, and then it pops up and it shows the availability of homes in Littleton, and then it has this big graph that comes up and it talks about basically like the cost of waiting, and it shows them, hey, if I would have bought this time last year, I would have been buying at homes and prices in this range. Now I'm buying now at this year. This is where I'm at. So it's really that kind of like that call to action, right? But this piece of HomeBot is brand new. Like I say, it's only been around for about 3 weeks. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually have the HomeBot people come over to our guild office so you guys can learn a little bit more about that. But I'm a huge fan of HomeBot. We get requests from clients 2, 3, 4, 7 times a month asking us about information and asking and requesting for a CMA on their home. And that's basically what happens with the home valuation. Is they're like, is this really real? Do I really have this much equity in my house? Can you send me a CMA? Okay, so that's the HomeBot world. Does that kind of give you guys a gist of what it's about? And it's very inexpensive. It's $25 a month for you guys for HomeBot, and that's up to 500 clients. So yeah, it's awesome. Awesome sauce. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the big one, right, which is the online presence, of course, which is the thing that I think everybody has the most questions about.
Do we want to maybe start with the social media piece, since that was question, you know, and rather than with the client review?
Yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, so if you guys should go to the one that says social media, it's right after client review. Page right here. So I will say probably the biggest thing that has helped us with regards to our social media presence is actually coming up with theme days for our social media, okay? So instead of like kind of what you were mentioning before is, you know, you want to post something up and then you're like, well, what should I do? How should I do it? What should I do? What should I talk about, right? We already ahead of time have our theme days set up. So we know, instead of sitting up there and trying to figure out what I'm going to do on Monday today and spending all this time online trying to figure out, we already know what we're sending out on Mondays. We send out motivational Mondays. So then the two of us can get together, brainstorm, as we see things that come across the internet, or as we see stuff that, you know, somebody else sent, we just kind of put it over in a folder over here, and I'm like, oh, I like this one, I like this one, I like this one. So we just start stockpiling these things that are motivational things that we like. So then what we'll do is for the month, we'll pull out 4 of them that we like already, and then we already have them ready to go, right? Tuesdays we do as Testimonial Tuesday. So our clients do reviews for us, and so we will take those and we will send those out on Tuesdays as Testimonial Tuesday, right? Wednesday could be, what do we do on Wednesdays?
So we will do, our guild provides
Oh, that's
social
right.
media things, so our guild corporate provides some stuff for us. So on Wednesday, that's our guild day. So I'll just take something corporate already made, and that's our Wednesday content. So.
And maybe you guys have stuff that exists already from Buffini that
Right,
you could use, things that are already set up.
Or those stats from DMAR or Smedra, you know, or things like that.
And then the other idea is you don't have to do something every day, right? Like you were talking about with your birthday program. Like you're just baby steps, right? So maybe you say I just want to post something once a week. I want to post something twice a week, right? So you could know which of your days is going to be a skip day, right? It doesn't have to be something every single day. So maybe Wednesday's a skip day for you, right? Thursdays could be like a tip day that you're giving out tips for your home, right? Or tips about buying. You know, if you're a first-time home buyer, what's it like when you have to try to buy as a first-time home buyer? Fridays is like, we typically do like fun Fridays. We typically do something that is like I say, that's easy, that's fun. Like, what are you doing this weekend? Something along those lines. But if I could implore you with anything regarding social media, it would be to come up with these ideas, these theme days, because it is a massive time saver. This has changed our world in terms of social media, because then we can, at a specific time in our calendar, set aside. We do marketing meetings after my sales meetings on Tuesdays. We get together and then we just spend an hour talking about our marketing, like what's going on, what do we need to get pulled together, right? So you could do the same thing in your own calendars, right? You could say, hey, every Monday I'm going to spend 1 hour on my marketing. And I'm going to start chunking this down into buckets, right? And part of those Monday marketing meetings can be calling us, setting an appointment to come see us, and we're going to help you make all this stuff happen. But that's been the biggest change for us, is coming up with theme days for social media. And then I'm going to let you talk about some of the other things that we do in here, because really she's the theme. Let's be honest, she's the one that really makes all these things happen, right? I just, snap pictures from my phone and I send it over and I'm like, ooh, I like this one. What about this? Let's do something around this idea.
Right.
You know?
But you've got the idea exactly right. So the theme days really helped me, because I did the same thing where I'd just be sitting around like, what is something interesting to post? And then half an hour has passed of me, just sitting making this post. So absolutely. So I have, 5 separate folders on my computer: Motivation Monday, Testimonial Tuesday, our guild corporate content, Tip Thursdays, I call them free for all Fridays, because we'll really just post anything on a Friday. And then you can start just saving things in your folders. And again, like Rebecca said, if you're trying to post 2 or 3 times a week, maybe just say, hey, I have 5 minutes, it's a Monday, open up my folder, and now you've got plenty of content to choose from. And all you've been doing is just, as you're scrolling through, just save this to my phone, save that, or email it to yourself, just so you're keeping it all in one place. And then you avoid that whole, sitting there for a half hour trying to figure out what to post.
Can you talk to them about the scheduling
for
piece
sure.
of it?
And so on Facebook and Instagram, with the business accounts, not on your personal accounts, unfortunately, but just as a free feature on Facebook and Instagram, you can schedule out your posts. So depending on how your brain works, you might want to do it once a month or once a week. Take a little bit of time to schedule out the posts. So that's something that's been really helpful for me, especially over weekends too, because I'm not in the office on the weekends. So I can schedule a post for, if Sunday is Mother's Day, I can schedule a Mother's Day post, and then I don't have to think about that when I'm not in the office.
How many of you guys knew that you could schedule posts on your business page, Facebook? Okay, so quite a few of you. Okay.
The other thing that was really helpful is if you see something on Facebook that you're like, oh, I like that, you can actually go into the little 3 dots on the side and save it for later and use it later. So you don't have to remember what it was or where you saw that or anything. Just go into the little 3 dots and save it. And if you have those saved posts, then later on you can go back and be like, oh, that's the one I wanted to use.
Exactly, yeah. So it's all about, just as you're seeing it, saving it, as opposed to thinking, okay, I'll just do it all when I have the time to do it. You have to think ahead a little bit. Because I can never find those things again. I refreshed and it was like,
where was it?
Right.
I'm
And-
a Facebook
Right.
moron. I understand.
No, I'm
Instagram.
not right. No, but it definitely is hard to remember in the moment. The other thing is there are paid programs too that will allow you to schedule things. So Hootsuite is the big one. So if you are wanting to schedule out posts on your personal accounts or on more than just Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn or Twitter, for example, you can use Hootsuite and pay monthly to have those sent out.
Now, one thing that we do is we share anything that goes onto our business. We always put all that onto our personal too. Okay, so she set up something for me that's extremely helpful, and this could be in any categories, right? But and on my calendar, it's like at 7 a.m. on my calendar every day it's like today's calls, today's tasks, right? So then I just go into that time slot every day and I see what do I need to do, right? I need to call Bob and Mary Smith today, and I also needed to share our Mother's Day post, whatever it is, right? But that's something that might be helpful for you guys is whatever this is related to, right? You're saying you wanted to do your birthday calls, right? You could put it in at 7 a.m. on your calendar every single time, and then you just get into the habit of every time I'm going in and I'm checking to see what am I supposed to be doing today, whether it's related to marketing, a follow-up call for a customer, but that's been something that's worked really well for us. So maybe that would be helpful for you guys too.
And then you briefly were talking about Hootsuite, and about 15 minutes ago, Amanda, who's watching us online, had mentioned that she uses later.com. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, later.com, but she says it's very similar to Hootsuite, and it's free.
Oh,
So
cool.
just another thing
Thank
to
you,
kind of
Amanda.
research.
Right.
Thank you. for sharing that.
Later.com?
What's that?
Later.com?
Later.com, later.com. So
Cool.
just another thing for you guys to have on the radar.
Okay. Ooh, fun.
Yeah, the great thing is that nowadays there's so many different technology pieces to help with these things, with the
I
email,
know.
scheduling out the email blast and the Facebook posts and stuff. So,
Just
like I
to
said, we're
pick
just
one and run with it.
exactly right. So we're just giving examples of what works for us, but there's so much out there that works.
And another thing that we learned from a gal, she happens to be the #1 producer at Guild. We have offices all across the country, right? But she, a lot of her business comes from Facebook primarily, right? And she broke down this is where we learned this idea of like coming up with days of themes too. But she was talking about, for her, is that she does things like surrounding more around her family through Facebook, right? So she will post something about her honey, her husband, on Mondays, right? She posts something about her kids on Tuesdays. She posts something about the Guild World on Wednesdays, right? So it doesn't have to be business all the time, right? It is about like what's going on with you guys, like what is going on in your lives, right? Maybe you're, maybe you golf every weekend and you want to post something up about golfing, right? Maybe you are into you have a wine club with one of your girlfriends, right? You guys you want to post about that. But that was probably the other secret sauce that we learned from her that day is anything that's going to actually work and be successful on social media for you guys is it really does have to be like you. It has to be your thing, right? I'm not going to go up and post about making beer in my basement because I don't know anything about that, and I have no desire to learn anything about that, right? So whatever it is that you like, whatever speaks to you, that's what you need to be posting about.
Do you do much in the way of like posting videos or Facebook Live or anything?
I would say we are tiny in terms of Facebook Live. We've done a few of those things, but we do a lot of videos.
Yeah.
And that's part of something that we would be more than willing and love to help you guys with at any time. We actually have a whole video room in our office that is for you guys, for our partners, right? Has all those really cool, awesome lights, right? So when you go in there, you look really amazing. But that's something that we've gotten pretty okay at it, right? In terms of how do you make a video, what do you say, when do you post the videos, right? So that's the other piece of what we do on our marketing meetings on Tuesdays is we have certain videos that we want to post up throughout the month, right? So then if we say that our video wants to go out this Friday, then we know 2 or 3 days ahead of time we need to actually record the video, and then it will hit and be live by Friday, right? So the videos that we send out are something called an EOS, Evidence of Success, which would also probably work really well for you guys. Hey, was able to help this family get into a home that nobody else was able to help, right? And then we send something out also typically about like just what's going on with the month, right? What are our themes that we call them?
Well, our other one is just our bomb video. It's
Okay.
just a general,
Right.
but a product announcement
Right.
usually.
So we usually do either a product, an evidence of success, and then something like if it's, you know, the holidays, happy holidays, or, you know, things like that. I just recently did like a gratitude challenge, and we posted up something and did videos about being grateful each day. We did things like that. So an idea that I got from my coach right now is, because it's a little quieter, is sending something out for the next 6 weeks in a row to your clients. And that can be in any formats, right? Call, email, text, video, whatever you want it to be, right? But for the next 6 weeks, you're gonna reach out so that when the new year comes around and when their tax money comes in, they're thinking of you, right? So this would be a really great thing for us to help you with, right? If you wanted to do 6 videos, we could help you execute and do 6 videos from our office, and then you could send them out.
Okay.
Or we could help you create 6 posts that you wanted to put out. Like, it's your 6 favorite holiday traditions. It's your 6 favorite Christmas songs. It's your whatever you guys wanted to do. We can help you do that at any time. Okay? So the other thing around, let's see, how much time
So
are we doing?
I was gonna say,
I know.
maybe 5
Oh my
minutes.
gosh, we're already late, people.
I think it was still 11:30.
11:30, yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah.
I was thinking we only had an
Yeah,
hour. I was like,
from 10 to 11.
Okay,
good,
Because it has a
perfect.
tendency
Okay,
as
good.
questions come up,
Yeah.
things
Okay.
run a little bit longer.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
guys are fine.
I was
Okay,
like,
so
oh
we
boy,
were
we're already
okay.
10 minutes late. I was like, okay.
No,
Okay,
nice.
Okay, good. All right.
Keep going.
Plenty of time. Okay, so this is another area in terms of social media stuff.
Yes.
Um,
I was sorry, I was looking up at Get
Oh, yeah.
Stencil.
yeah, of
Because she's really good at that, and I was gonna ask her how you did that. How
I
you can
use
write on top of.
I use an app called Get Add Text.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Again, there's
It's
hundreds of
free.
thousands of apps out
Okay,
there,
it's
yeah. But yeah, I think the idea is get an app where that's the intention, is it's letting you put quotes over it, rather than trying to do it yourself in whatever, you know, program you're trying to do it in. You
I
need to
couldn't
make it
figure it
look
out for myself anyway. That's
pretty,
why I
a
was
little
like,
more professional, you know, with things like
Yeah.
Get Stencil and yeah, Get Stencil is a desktop app, but there are plenty of mobile apps out there.
That helps you like edit a picture and
Right,
put
yeah.
text on
Mhm.
it.
And pop up a logo on there or something like that, but make it look professional
You could do
and,
that,
and
then you
visible.
can move this
So.
around, you can turn it sideways. And then you can change the font.
She's like, oh my god, look what I just found. It's amazing.
There you go, gorgeous.
Oh, so cute.
And that was, what was it called?
Add text.
Sorry.
Oh, you're
No,
fine.
you're good.
No
Oh, it's
problem.
always good to, because you always come up with 3 things you think, oh,
Yeah.
Free's good.
So this might be something that helps you guys in terms of your social media world, like especially if you're in just kind of like the beginning phases, right? The infancy of this whole social media stuff. We're gonna send you guys something at the beginning of every month, okay? We call it Marketing Madness Made Easy. That's our like acronym for it, okay? It's this page right here. So we're gonna send this to you, which is gonna give you 4 different ideas for social media posts. Okay, so you don't have to do anything. We're gonna give you 4 different ideas for social media posts, and then if you like any of those, there's 2 ways to do this. You say, hey, I like all of them. Will you please put my information, my name, my logo, my contact information on the bottom of every single one of these? I want to use it. Or I like number 1 and number 4. Right?
So we just like reply to your email.
Exactly correct. All you do is reply back to us and say, hey, this is what I want. I like these ones. Put my info on it.
Yeah, so I've got it up on the screen here. So here's what a sample, you know, this is our one from August. We'll get more into the pop-by idea in the face-to-face marketing piece, but with each email we show 2 pop-by examples. And so there's the other pop-by, and then 4 social media posts. So the social media post is about the, you know, outdoor public pool schedule. You can either just save this image and pop it right up to Facebook if you just like this. And again, it's all original content. You don't have to worry about it being licensed. You know, it's either we received permission from Smedra and DMAR to share their stuff, or, you know, are using public stock images. So you can just copy paste this straight into Facebook, or you can reply to the email, and then I'll send it back with a little, you know, your banner underneath with your
It'll be
headshot and
personalized.
your phone
Right.
number
reply to
underneath.
you.
Exactly. Now, of course, you could personalize it yourself, but our whole point is saying to you, don't take the time.
Right.
So you
Just-
will do it
right.
for you, right? And then you'll have you will already have 4 social media posts ready to go. So if you're saying, hey, I just want to get something out once a week,
then
it's
you're
done. You're done. Like, we're ready to go.
Right.
Right. And we try to keep a nice mix of, here's one that's about how your FICO score is calculated versus one about, happy toasted marshmallow day. So it's going to be kind of half and half statistical and more fun, I guess.
So how often did you say we will receive that email?
Once a month.
Once
So it'll
a
be the first week of the month, usually on like the first Thursday or so of the month. And so you'll get 4 social media posts and 2 Popeye ideas for each one. But you can always go back, say you like the Popeye idea from September, but you don't want to do it until June, you can always use those other ideas too.
I do Popeyes, but like every quarter.
Yeah.
I don't do it every month.
Right.
You saying Popeyes or Popeyes?
Popeyes.
Like the
Popeyes chicken.
Yeah.
Popeyes. I'd be
Sorry.
happy if I got some Popeyes chicken as a Popeye. I mean,
So, and these posts will be ready to post in any social media.
right. So they're already in a square format for Instagram,
Okay.
or there's like
Facebook or
right.
Twitter.
They'll fit in pretty much any.
Okay.
So like I said, if you wanted to just go ahead and just save that or copy paste it, they're ready to go now. If you don't care about having your, your phone number and headshot underneath.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing that I was going to tell you guys about as far as some social media stuff is you guys have access, I think, to this here already at Equity, but this is something we've been using for a while that we really like and we get a lot of great feedback on it, which is called list reports. Are you guys familiar with list reports at all? Okay.
I get them from some people.
Right. So it's free to you guys. It doesn't cost you guys any single thing to use this at all. Okay. What List Reports does is it creates an actual report about your listing. Okay. But they do it in a very high-end, kind of a classy format, right? And what's cool about this list report is it's something that you guys can save and then you can post it up onto social media. They actually have a button right on list reports that says share to Facebook, right? And it pulls the actual images and everything that you guys have put up from the MLS, right? And then it does a nice job of also saying, hey, here's the eats around the property, right? Here is your walkability score for the property in terms of all the things that are close by to walking distance. Here's the information about the schools, all that kind of stuff. They have lots of different formats for list reports. You can do it a zillion different ways from Tuesday. But it's like I say again, it's free. It costs you nothing, right? So we can simply link up to you guys, and then anytime you're like, hey, I have a listing coming up on Friday, we can create the list report for you if you'd like. Or, I mean, it takes a matter of moments, honestly. You type in the address to the property, it pulls all the photos that you want from MLS, and your list report will come over within minutes.
So I feel like we can show you a sample of this. Now there's free features and paid features. So that's why on this one Rebecca's saying it's free, but on this page in your workbook it says $50 to $100 per fast blast. So the free feature of List Report is that you get all of these materials up on the screen for any address you enter. You get a property website, an open house flyer, promotional flyer, etc. The promotional website looks like this, and then all of the infographics are what's on the website. Those infographics just come as separate pieces that you can get printed. So this is what you receive for free. You can give your clients this link to the website, and then you can download or pop up to Facebook any of these infographics separately. I think the ones you were talking about were the explore your area, the walkability kind of ones. These infographics are really cool.
Yes.
These are all free. And then there is a button where you can just hit, so they'll show you what's around in the outdoors, what's in the neighborhood, what's in the school. Now, like I said, the infographics, they'll pull them out separately, so you can see the infographics. You can just hit that Facebook share button, and it'll share all of those infographics, the walkability, the schools, and all of that onto your Facebook. What the Fast Blast is that's actually utilizing Facebook's advertising. So that's, rather than going to just your sphere, it's going to go to the whole, Denver metro area. So that's why that costs $50 to $100 per post. So the Fast Blast is something that you purchase separately. And what that will do is, take your listing, it'll take these infographics that it's creating and then put them out into the general public and increase your reach.
And
So
what
that's
we
why-
have some people do this for, the Fast Blast for, is when they're gonna have open houses or when they
Right.
just put the property on the market, they will then use one of these for social media, and they'll actually pay to, blast it out, if you will, because it just came up
They
onto
use
the.
Facebook's platform to do it?
They do.
They use Facebook advertising, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like boosting your
It's like
posts.
right.
Exactly.
But they
Okay.
take care of selecting the market and, narrowing
Right.
down that kind of stuff. You just say, okay, here's the address and then the, types of people I'd like to target, and then they'll kind of take care of the rest. You allow them access to link up with your Facebook account, and that's how they do it.
Okay.
But what we'll do today is we'll send you guys all an email, or basically an invitation inviting you to list reports, okay? And then you can accept that, and then if you're, it usually is pretty good about if you're, it will show, like your face will automatically pop up for us if you have a
Right,
listing.
most of you are probably
you know.
in list reports already because it pulls from public record. So most of the time you don't even have to bother uploading your contact information and your headshot and that kind of thing. And like Rebecca said, it's free to use. We are happy to make the list reports for you, but you also have the autonomy to do it yourselves. You can hop in and make one for yourself anytime, and it's free to make as many as you want. We'll just get a little email saying, hey, they're using it, and that's always cool for us.
And one of the things that I like about it is once the report is generated, it pops up onto your phone, and then you can text it to somebody from your phone, right? So if somebody had called you and was like, oh, I was interested in Maple Street, you're like, oh, absolutely, let me give you a little bit of information about Maple Street. You just forward the list report directly from your phone and text them.
Right, it's meant to be viewed on a phone and on a desktop, so it's very mobile friendly. Yeah, and with these share buttons too, so there's the instant Facebook share, but then if you hit one of these share buttons here, you have the option to copy link. That's how you could email the link to the website or to the, the infographics, that type of thing. There's a link to tweet, there's a link to email it. So they give you a lot of different ways to share those.
One of the questions on sharing to Facebook, do you share it to your personal page or do you share it to your business page and then?
So I've never shared straight from list reports, but I believe it gives you the option to do
You can
either.
share it to either one.
Right, because what it asks you is which account you want to link it up to.
Okay.
So I believe you could do it with either.
Okay.
But as far as that goes, I mean, the thing that I think we learned from that gal that I was mentioning to you guys before, Lizzie, who's the #1 producer for Guild, is honestly put everything on your personal, right?
Really?
So you have your business page, right? Because that's kind of like we're all required to have such things, right? But in terms of what happens to you on social media wise, most of the time people are getting to know you because of what's really going on with you and in your personal life, right?
Because I
You just
have
happen
avoid
to
that a
also
lot.
work here at Equity.
So your personal life, you share
Right.
on your
Yes.
I always post most of the business stuff, like listings and things, onto my business page, and then I just share them. onto
Exactly.
my-
Right.
Yeah,
And
I do that on my
that's
personal life.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so everything on your business page can go to your personal page.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
not everything on your
Exactly.
personal
Yeah.
page.
Goes
That's
to your
what I
business
do.
page. So we like to think of it as your business page is what's seen by 100% strangers, just random person off the street. So you really want it to be all about your business and what you offer and that type of thing. And then your personal is a good mix of the two. And some advice we've been given, which we don't always necessarily follow to a T, but 3 kind of fun, not businessy posts. So whether that be something about Toasted Marshmallow Day or about something with your family, 3 to 1. So for every one really businessy advertising a listing or really stats heavy post you're making, you should make 3 fun posts to kind of even it out a little bit. So it doesn't seem like your personal page is all just you trying to promote your business.
Yeah. Plus, I heard there's an algorithm that maybe Facebook has got somewhere in their system, and they monitor how many businessy types of posts you're doing on your personal page.
I don't know anything about that.
Right, I don't either, but I
that's
wouldn't be
probably
surprised.
true. I think that there's a lot of
Gotta be-
that kind of stuff happening
Be
in
cognizant
terms
of
of
it,
yeah,
because they're watching.
yeah, yeah. That's true. They're watching.
That's a good
They're
point.
listening right now.
They're probably on Facebook Live with us
Right.
right
Yeah.
now. That's true.
Good point. Very, very good point. Okay, you guys already mentioned this get stencil thing, which is being able to take any kind of a picture and an image and just writing over the top of it.
Right, add your logo, whatever. And again, there's so many different
Yeah,
services.
yeah.
that
So
do
the
that,
only other thing I would say about this for you guys is please don't be shy about saying, I don't know what this is. I don't know how to use this. I don't even know where to get this app on my phone. Like, I don't, what? Right? Honestly, you would really be surprised how we've like had people come into our office and be like, we're going to show you how to post up something onto Facebook. Okay? I'm that same human. So this is why I can tell you to please come in and don't be shy about these kinds of things. We'll teach you any of this stuff. Okay? And then we touched a little bit on the video recording, but I know this is where a lot of our industry is going, is to video. So it's of course, it's torture. I know everyone makes this face when we even talk about it. It's like, poke my eyes out. Who wants to have anything to do with this? But if it is one of your goals for 19 and you want to get there, you want to learn about it, we're more than happy to help you guys do it. And it's just us, right? So you're not sitting in front of like, you know, some formal guy and it's like really awkward, right? It's just us. So we can record it as many times as you want, which is what we do with each other. I'm like, oh my God, get rid of that one. That's not going anywhere.
Well, that's why I don't like Facebook
yeah.
Live. Because you listen back to it and you think, oh my gosh, I said nice 15 times.
Yeah.
Or I said, or I said,
Exactly.
But then I know, you know, my husband always says, well, people want to see, they just want you to be you. They don't want you to be like...
It's so true, though. It's really, really true.
Yeah.
So as far as the video stuff goes, I mean, again, I think Sierra already mentioned this, but, you know, usually it's keeping it short and sweet. That's the big thing, right? When you, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but the very first thing I do when I see somebody's video is I check to see how long it is. And when it's like 7 minutes, I'm like, I'm out.
No.
Like, this isn't happening.
Yeah,
right?
usually one or 2 minutes.
Yeah. Most of our stuff is less than a minute.
Yeah.
Most everything we do is less than a minute. And the other probably great advice that we got from it was, you know, usually coming up with, hey, what we wanted to do today is give you 3 tips, right? You give 3 tips, or I want to give you 2 tips, or 1 tip, something like that. So you get right to the point. And to not actually, you run through it in your mind, right? Like we rehearse it with each other. We're like, hey, I want to give you these 3 tips, but not really truly reading from a script, because that's when it seems really painful sometimes, right? Exactly. It seems really scripted, right? It seems a little bit painful, but you know what the 3 things are that you want to talk about, right? We're going to make these 3 points and you get to them, but not to actually be reading from a script or looking from one online. That tends to be pretty hard to watch.
I think I did. I mean, I'd much prefer to like record it and then look at it, and but sometimes I do that like 30 times. I'm like, oh God, I'm just going to go away and come back later.
You know what makes me so happy though is to hear you say that,
because you say one word wrong and you think, or you get to the end and then you realise that you haven't turned the video off and you're going, roll with your eyes or something.
Or you think you've recorded it and you didn't press record. I'm like, that was the best one. No.
Oh yeah.
No. And then you
just got a photograph.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
We've been there. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, for sure. But at any rate, please take us up on it, even if you just want to come by and see what the video room looks like first before you decide to do anything, right? But what some of our partners have done, which has been really cool with the videos, is doing it specific around like transactions, right? So at certain marks within the transaction, you send out a video, right? Whether that's at inspection, hey, just wanted to shoot you guys a note, like today's the big day, we're doing inspection, right? Or I know that the appraisal's coming up tomorrow. I was just thinking about you guys. Your CD, your closing disclosure for your loan is going to be coming out any day now. It's really important for you to stay watching anything from your lender, right? So if you guys have certain touch points that you wanted to do throughout a transaction, whether it's the buy side or the sell side, we could help you make those, right? And the same thing works on in terms of your phone. You can save these videos to your phone, right? So then, hey, you set up a pop-up reminder in your calendar because you know that it's the appraisal deadline is coming up, so you know that, and then you just take your appraisal video from your phone and you text it over to the Smiths, right? So if that's one of the things that you have in terms of your goals for 19, is I really want to get a handful of videos put together, whether it's even just thank you videos, right? Anytime somebody sends you a lead, you want to send them a thank you, we can help you make that, no problem. Okay?
Do you have the capability to sort of edit raw video that's taken somewhere else?
Not really at this time. Editing as far as we could maybe get the sound a little better if you were maybe having trouble hearing that type of thing.
Beginning and an ending.
Right. Oh yeah.
So
We can do that type of thing. Yeah.
Like last year, I did a video targeted towards first-time home buyers, trying to convince them to transition from renting to owning, and so backdrops to me are important, and so I was always doing them like in front of apartment complexes under construction.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted that as a backdrop to say, are you gonna pay their mortgage or yours?
Oh, cool.
You know, and so if I do something like that, can you then put a beginning and ending
Yeah,
to
of course,
it?
right? We'll have your logo come in at the
Yeah.
end or something,
Yeah.
or have a little intro. Mhm.
Now,
Okay.
one thing that we also have in there is we do have a green screen in there, right? So we have two ways of
So you
doing
can
it.
edit.
Yeah, exactly. So it can appear like you're standing in front of a
Okay.
house, right?
Okay.
Or on top of the Eiffel Tower or whatever, right? And then another common way that we do it is just a simple kind of like, light, gray background like this, right? And you're saying, hey, I wanted to, if you're a first-time home buyer, these are the 3 most important things about being a first-time home buyer, right? And then the stuff slides in and we make the bullet points, right? So that's the other way that we can do it too, okay?
So who does the videos? I mean, who edits them? You do all that? Gosh, you're a superstar.
I told you! The girl is amazing!
How many hours a week do you work?
Just 4, I promise.
Is that what you did at college?
No, I was an economics major, but I minored in business. So.
Okay.
She's a smart one, she went to Penn State.
Oh wow, good for you.
But we stole her away from the finance world. I guess not really, it's still finance that we do
Right,
over here,
exactly,
but,
definitely so.
Yeah, but, okay, any other questions for us about video stuff?
Or just online presence in general, because I think, that seems
Yeah.
to be the most
That was the big one for
intensive
today.
one.
What was the other thing we were gonna talk about?
We were going to
Oh,
talk about
yeah.
reviews, increasing
Yeah.
online presence through reviews.
Maybe we can still do that. Does anybody interested in that, about learning about like how we do client reviews, how we get our client reviews going? Setting up a little system for that, you guys wanna chat about
I
that?
think that's the hard part for me. I mean, I always send, I send the link from Zillow and I send them the link to my Google page. But then, you have to nag and nag
Right,
and nag
right,
and nag.
right.
Yeah.
But it's not automatic. I just send it out the day closing usually.
Well, I would say a couple things there is letting them know, ahead of time, like so when you're sitting at the closing table, hey, could you do me a humongous favor and write a review for us? Oh, sure, absolutely, right? So they know it's coming, okay? The other great piece of advice that we got was sending basically three ways for them to do the reviewing, right? Because some people don't have an account on Zillow. So when you send them the link for that,
They have to
They have to
open an account.
and then it turns into a whole Oprah,
Yeah,
right? They don't want to
yeah.
deal with
It's
it,
the
right?
same with Google though.
Yeah.
With Google, they got to have a Google account.
Mhm.
Not everybody has.
So really the advice that was given to us is if you send them these 3 formats, whatever they're used to using, whatever they have, they'll just automatically gravitate to and do automatically, right? So it's easier for them to get you the review.
Right.
And then we always, we send a thank you for doing the review as well. Of course, I always call, and say thank you so much for the review afterwards, but we send pizza to their house for once when they do a review for us, right? So it's just a simple way of saying thank you. But what we've also implemented is a system for making sure that we have these reviews done, right? So at the end of every month, we look to see of our closings, who's done a review, who hasn't done a review, and then we follow back up to get the reviews. So that might be something that's helpful too, in order to get more reviews, right?
Or you send an email, you give it on paper. Is that the second way? What are the 3 types that you use?
So what she meant by the 3 types is, so we use MailChimp to send out an email, and I send that the day that their loan closes. So Rebecca's kind of priming them, prepping them, saying, hey, you're going to get this email, and we'd love it if you do this. Then I send out the email, and we use MailChimp so that it looks really, really nice. There's just 3 buttons where they can say, so the 3 ways are, for us, it's Google, Facebook, which is actually our internal guild, it's called Testimonial Tree, but it posts to Facebook, and Zillow. So what Rebecca is saying is, I already have a Gmail account, so if people ask me to leave a review on Google, I'm like, oh yeah, it takes a second. But if someone asks me to leave a review on Yelp, I'm probably not going to do it because I don't want to go and make a Yelp account. So if you give them 3 options, Facebook, Yelp, Google, Zillow, they'll choose whichever one they have an account for already. So if they see Facebook in your options list, they'll probably go and leave you a review. Whereas if you just said, leave me a review on Zillow, you're going to lose out on a large amount of people who don't have a Zillow account and are, quite honestly, it's just a time thing. They don't want to take the 5 minutes to make an account, verify their email address, do all this stuff. So
and then
give a couple of options.
what would be you know, we have these really awesome checklists that we can share with you guys too, but after you've done a closing, like what are the things to do to follow, like put it in your home bot, put it in your CRM, put their birthdays in, you know, all this kind of stuff. But then 1 week after closing, it's a great reason for you guys to reach out, check in, how's everything going? How's the house? What's happening? Right? Everything okay? And then at that same time, you're like, hey, I'm so sorry to be a pain, but do you mind? Would you do that review for me? Right? There's a few people that we didn't get a review from the last couple of months, just from people being gone and traveling and things like that. So I'm actually calling up, she made me a great list, and I'm actually calling up people and saying, hey, I'm having a huge contest with another loan officer in my office of who can get the most reviews through the end of the year, and I don't want to lose to him. Will you please help me put that review up, right? And then we just pop a little like Starbucks card or something in the mail to them to say thank you. Yeah. But the big part of, I think, any of this kind of stuff, it's the same thing that we've talked about from the very beginning of this, is you have to have some kind of a system. You have to have some kind of a structure, right? Because you ask them for the review the first time, and then if they don't do it, it just evaporates. Right, it just goes away, right? And you forget too, though, right? You're moving on to the next transaction, right? It's already done, you've moved on, right? And it's 8 months later, you feel weird about saying, hey, can you review me from that thing that happened 8 months ago?
I know.
It's your year anniversary, can you review me?
When it's fresh in their mind, absolutely.
For sure, so.
Right. So yeah, however that system works for you, whether you're sending out the review emails like, you know, once a month and sending it to the whole previous month, or whether you're doing it the day of closing and then calling them the week after, or, you know, whatever works for you. But yeah, just having a system of following up with a phone call always makes that email go
It's a shame when they
further.
write a review, you can't just share it, you know, to
Every platform. Yeah, I know. Well, I know we're over time, you guys. I know we're past our time already. We're already 5 minutes over schedule. But what we'd love to do, like I said, is just to get together with you guys individually and see how we can help you create some marketing plans, right? If you email us, we do have one little gift, one little thank you that we're going to give you guys for coming today.
That helps with social media. So.
Yes, it helps with social media. So it is our thank you for taking the time to attend our class today. If you email us and say, please send me my banner, then we will create one for you guys. And she did this for me specifically. So it's just a little tiny banner that I have saved in my images on my phone, okay? And it's, you know, my guild logo and my contact information. But anytime if I want to post something up on social media from my phone, right? You know how this happens, like I use Instagram. So whenever you do something on Instagram, like let's say I want to have 2 pictures up, right? You pick the pane that has the 2 pictures, right? So I pick the picture I want to post up on Instagram, and then I pick my banner picture, and it looks automatically branded to me.
Oh, nice.
And it's so easy, and it's awesome sauce, right? It's the simplest thing in the world. So our gift to you for attending today and saying thank you is we will make you one of these banners so that you can have saved in your images and that at any time you can post up. Okay, but you have to email us and tell us you want one. Okay.
Call to action.
Right.
There you go.
That's right. That's right.
All right, and so for those watching online, I will post Rebecca's email address in the feed here in just a couple of minutes. Everybody else, you guys have your packets, so you've got all of her contact information. She's a valuable resource. Her and CR are both, so please utilize both of them. And then any other questions online? Doesn't look like I've had anything come through, so final call, anybody? All right, thanks for sitting in with us.
Yeah,
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate it.
And I want to get